Alright, so in this video we're checking out the Eachine Shadow Fiend. This is another 4-inch micro long-range quad, and I did a roundup video a few days ago, I think, maybe like a week ago. Covered all the other ones from the other companies, Diatone, GetRC, Flywheel, etc. I'll link that in the description. You can check that out. I did talk about this model a little bit in that video, and now that I've actually flown it, I can sort of refine my thoughts on that. I do encourage you to go back and watch that other video with the roundup, as well as the other videos on the other models, if you want to get a little bit different perspectives on how each of these models are. They're not a whole lot different, but I'm just going to kind of cover what is different about this one here in particular. And by the way, this is probably on promotion sale right now. Check out the Black Friday video from yesterday, I believe. There should be a coupon code for this in the spreadsheet, I believe. Also, if you want to get in the giveaway for the analog version of this, check out that video as well. If you go back to that video and follow the rules for the giveaway, you can enter to win the analog version of the Shadow Fiend. So this one here is the digital version, and comes in two versions. This is the Caudix Nebula Nano version. There's also a regular Vista with the DJI camera. I believe that's also another version. I don't have that one. And then there's the analog version. So this one here is a unibody bottom plate, as you can see here. And it's similar to the Camera because it's also a unibody. But I think this bottom plate's only 3mm thick, and it's also similar to the Camera in that the arms are not a dead cat style. This is like an H style frame, and it's kind of like, it's not really a true X, so it's a little bit squished front to back versus side to side, and you're going to see the props in view on the camera on this one. Now, I am not too happy about the way this has been cut. Of course, you can see this layer here is just a cosmetic surface layer, so it may be going in a different direction underneath. I don't know that. It's not like super weak, but you can bend it a little bit. So I'll just put some force down on here, and then let's say, like, you know, if you're pulling up on the motor here, you can see it does give a little bit. I'm not really pulling that hard, but you know, there is some play in the arms. It is 3mm thick, so if you do crash pretty hard, you're probably gonna have to replace the bottom plate, and I believe they do sell the spare parts for this one, the bottom plate and the top plate. Top plate's only 2mm thick. Should be fine for the situation. You know, not really doing racing or like serious acro with it, so you know, I think that the frame is probably going to be okay for this particular application for micro long range. Stack in here is a different stack I haven't seen before. It's an F405 20x20 flight controller, so it has 6 UARTs. And then the ESC here, I believe, is a 25 amp BLHeli S ESC. And it's 20x20 stack here. And the product page does not have a manual for this, and there was no manual in the box either. So it is wired up for controlling with the Vista here, so you can use the DJI controller to control this, which is what I did. But if you want to wire up a different receiver, Crossfire, FreeSky, FlySky, etc., probably going to have to use like some of these plugs here. Maybe, is there anyone on this side? And there's nothing I can see on this side. Maybe one in the back over there. It isn't documented, and I didn't really bother to take a quick look at it because I knew I was going to fly with the DJI controller anyway. So I did talk to Eachine, and I'm going to have them try and find the manual and put the link to the manual up on the product page for this. So if you don't see it now, it'll probably be up there pretty soon, hopefully within a week, and that'll probably have the documentation for how to wire up other receivers. Of course, the rest of the parts here that wind up the kit, you get your your Vista Air unit here in the back, and you have a small GPS here in the back. This is, I think, a BN180. It's called Eachine BT180, but it is pretty much, I think, is a BN180. Just put a sticker over here on this little part, on the little RF shield. So it looks like the same size as the other ones. This little 3D printer part here, you can put a Crossfire antenna in the back if you want. but of course it doesn't come with the Crossfire version available, so you'd have to add your own Crossfire receiver and Crossfire antenna in the back. Does come with this long 15 centimeter extended micro FL micro FL antenna, which connects to the Vista. It doesn't say if it's left-handed or right-handed on here. It just has this little alien face on the antenna. I'm assuming it's left-handed. I had no problems with video range or control range at all, so it seemed fine. Bit rate was high and everything seemed okay. So I'm assuming it is a left-handed antenna. The motors on here are motors I've never seen before anywhere, and I don't know where they're getting these manufactured. It's a 1404 2750 kV, so it's going to be the same motor size and kV as the Flywoo and the GEP-RC. But of the three of this kV, I think this one seems to be lower kV than 2750 kV. I think the actual kV is probably like 2600 kV. Didn't seem like it has quite the same top end power as the GEP-RC or the Flywoo. The GEP-RC and the Flywoo seem fairly equivalent in terms of top end power, but this one seems a little bit lower. So I'm thinking the kV is going to be a little bit lower in this one. But I think it also showed in the flight time, because I flew it on a 4S650 and I got a full 10-minute flight on this battery, which I was not able to get on the Flywoo or the GEP-RC. I think I got like 9 minutes on those on this battery. So that's why I'm thinking the kV is lower in this one. You know, for micro long range, if you're looking for efficiency, that's fine. You know, you're looking for more flight time. You're not necessarily looking for maximum power. Tune on here was okay, not the greatest tune, of course. The fact that they actually even tuned this was kind of a shocker, because a lot of times the Eachine drones, they don't come with a tune at all. They just slap on, you know, Betaflight 3.5 or something old, you know, or nothing, and you just get whatever it is, and you have to configure it yourself. This came completely configured. It even came with the GPS rescue configured. Shockingly, I was like, wow, it's turned on everything. I mean, even Diatone didn't do that. They did, however, in the GPS rescue settings, allow arming without fix. So you have to be careful, because this GPS does take quite a bit of time to get a lock. So I would recommend flying this on a battery without using GPS rescue at all. So don't use it, because without a lock, it could fly off somewhere random. And let the data build up inside the GPS, and then the next time you power it up, it should get a lock pretty quickly, probably within about 20 to 30 seconds. So something to be aware of. The first time you get this, you're going to have to fly it on maybe a battery or two for this to get a good lock. I think I got a lock about 8 minutes into my 10-minute flight at the end, you're going to see here. So once you get the lock, then the next time you power it up, it should save the data in here, and it's called a hot start, and it should get a lock much quicker. But that's that's one of the downsides of this little tiny BN180. It's like the same problem you have on a lot of the other models that come with GPS rescue. So in terms of the rest of the setup, you do have to set up your modes, and that's not a big deal. You just set up the modes to the way your transmitter works. Pretty standard Betaflight stuff there, and that's all I did. I just charged up the battery, set up my modes on here. I didn't change the PID tune at all. And since GPS rescue and everything else was set up, I just went and flew it, and that's the flight you're going to see. So I would recommend at least this battery here. This seemed to be okay. I think a little bit heavier battery might be better, like an 854, so you're going to get even more flight time on that. But let's see what this comes out here in terms of weight, because I know a lot of you guys are worried about the 250 gram weight limit, and so the drone by itself is 148 grams. No, it's not too bad. It's pretty light. And with the 654S, we're coming at 224. So with an 854S, it's probably going to be right there, right around 250. And I'm thinking with an 850, another 200 milliamp hours, you're going to squeeze out another maybe 2 minutes. So you get a 12-minute flight on that. It's going to be your, I guess, your maximum probably setup and flight time for an under 250 gram setup. Now, if you want to go for ultimate maximum flight time, you're going to probably want to pick up one of these lithium ion packs here. So I think a bunch of other people make this as well. There's one from GEP-RC, there's one from Flywoo here. Links in the description. They're 3,000 milliamp hour. They're pretty low C, of course, not for acro, just for long range cruising, 15 to 30 C. These are essentially the same packs, 18650 cells from Sony, and they're the Sony VTC 6 cells. So they're pretty much identical. So you can pretty much get them either or. I think they sell them in a 2-pack from Flywheel, and you can get them individually at GetRC if you don't want to get two. But yeah, they're running, I think, around $35-$40 per pack. So they're pretty bulky and heavy. But with one of these here, with the Forest 3000, we're coming at 348, so definitely over the 250 gram limit. But you're looking at 25 to 30 minute flight times on these lithium-ion batteries. So looking for ultimate flight time, these are the batteries you want to get. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers everything. So if you want to see how this compares to the other ones, check out the Micro Long Range Roundup, where I talk about all the other models, the Chimera 4 from iFlight, the Crocodile Baby from GetRC, the Diatone Roma F4, and the Flywheel Explorer LR. Also, I did a custom build, the Airblade mini transformers. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of these in this 4-inch category, plenty to choose from. And you know, like I said, there's minor differences, mostly having to do with the motor KV and how the this out of the box setup is. So you're gonna have to watch all those individual videos to get a feel for how the out of the box setup is. I think, you know, if you're looking at like what's the easiest, I think the GetRC is probably going to be the most easiest. This is not that bad either because everything's already set up. You just have to set up your modes, and if you're using the DJI controller, this literally took me 5 minutes to get up and running. So some of the other ones do take a little bit more work. You know, like the GPS rescue isn't set up at all, for example, on any of the other ones except for this. So that's a thing that's going to be a problem for you. Maybe this is not a bad thing to consider. So anyway, cover for this one. Don't forget the giveaway, the Black Friday sale, coupons in that spreadsheet, etc. Yeah, hopefully that covers everything. Let me know if you have any questions, and here is the flight demo.